Hey yo, what is up you guys? Y'all already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. Today is May 15th, which marks the beginning of Invictus Fleet Week for starcitizen. This is going to be one busy week for me as I'm going to be pushing out videos left and right covering all sorts of ships and vehicles. But we are going to start this week off by covering GreyCat's brand new vehicle, the MTC, or what I like to call it, the Mobile Tactical Center. The GreyCat MTC, in my opinion, is a direct competitor to the base model Ursa Rover. Both of these vehicles have a lot of similarities in the form factor of how they are going to be used out in the field. The MTC is more geared towards troop gameplay with more gun racks and readily available cargo racks in the back for your troops or your teammates out there in the verse who needs to make a quick pit stop just to be able to get in and out of action without being harmed. Let's do a little comparison with the MTC and the base model Ursa Rover. First off, both of these vehicles are very tall. The MTC is actually just a little taller than the Ursa Rover, so no, this will not fit in a 400i. With its weapons extended, it will not even fit in a Valkyrie. So that's a heads up to you guys out there who's trying to store this inside of their vehicle to go do some bunker missions or whatnot on a planet's surface. The MTC is a little shorter than the Ursa, so keep that in mind when you're deciding to pick which vehicle you want to go out in the verse with. Alright, let's take the GreyCat MTC out into the field to see how it performs while doing a bunker mission. Let's see how this thing is able to handle itself on the harsh terrain of Daymar. Now, another similarity that both the MTC and the base model Ursa Rover have in common is its speed. The MTC can do about 35 meters per second while the base model Ursa Rover can do 33. So you better buckle up because this is one fast ride. Other than the vehicle, being more modernized versus some of the older vehicles that has been in the game for a very long time, it's nice, but it still has the same issues that every other ground vehicle has. Pebbles will make this thing flip over without no problems at all. All it takes is one pointy rock and low gravity and you are sent fling-a-flying. Overall performance for the MTC is not bad, but once you start hitting those hills, it does really slow down. The Ursa also struggles going up any type of steep incline, which is not that big of a deal as long as you plot your route accordingly. Now, one of the coolest things about the MTC, in my opinion, is the rear cargo hold. It is able to hold 4 personal containers in the back, and the way how they are deployed is absolutely awesome. Now, when it comes to retraction, they actually tuck into the inner chassis of the rear of the vehicle in a stacked form. It's one of the first vehicles I've seen do this with cargo containers before, and the animation is really cool. Now, this is something that must be talked about when it comes to the GreyCat MTC. There is a issue with collision detection when it comes to being shot at. I know that this vehicle is brand new and there may be some kinks to be worked out with it, but as I was using it to go to a bunker, I sat down into the gunner seat when NPCs began firing upon me, but for some reason the bullets were not being stopped by the armor or the shields of the MTC. They were going straight through the vehicle and were connecting with me. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal against NPCs, but if it was players, they would have easily melted me. And boom, that is pretty much it. There is not a whole lot to say about the MTC. Like I said earlier, this is pretty much a direct competitor to the base model Ursa Rover from RSI. It's cool and all, it's just as ergonomical, it functions just as well as the Ursa Rover. They are both very, very similar, just this one is a little bit taller and a little bit more stubbier versus the Rover. And I'm curious if CIG is going to give this vehicle the Ursa Rover treatment and give it many different versions. The Ursa Rover has the Lynx, and then it also has the Medevac. So who knows what is going to happen with the MTC in the future? Who knows? This thing might get a medical variant or maybe a small missile launcher variant. Only time will tell, because CIG do what CIG do. For those of you who actually bought this thing and is using it, what is your opinion on this little vehicle? Did you guys pick it up mainly as a LTI token? Because it is pretty cheap on the RSI store. Warbond at $45 is about a average price for most LTI tokens. I'm not going to pick this vehicle up just because it does not really interest me that much, mainly because I have the Ursa Rovers, so I don't really have an actual need for this vehicle. Plus, I just don't see myself using it in a viable situation. Maybe it could be more applicable during maybe newer events, ground-based events and stuff like that. But only time will tell how this vehicle will handle once more gameplay roles will come out in the future. But again, tell me down below in the comments what you guys think about the GreyCat MTC. But don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for my upcoming video, which is going to be a tour of the brand new Anvil Asgard and the Musashi Industrial Starlight Concern Starlancer TAC. But you guys already know who it is. It is the biggest bird in the verse, FC, aka Fried Chicken. Big Bird out.